Hi everybody! In today's video, we're going to be using our solving skills to learn lesson 4.7, which is all about solving an equation for y. So normally when we solve an equation, there's only one variable in the equation. We only have the x's or we only have the m's. Today we're going to be working with equations that have both x's and y's. So you'll notice that there's an x in this equation and that there's also a y. Our job today is going to be to isolate y. That means our goal is to get y by itself. Now your answer here is still going to have an x in it. So your answer is not going to just be a number today. It's going to be an equation that is rearranged. Here's what I mean. In this first example, you'll notice that if we start by drawing our line, there's actually a number on the same side of the equal sign as y. The number that's over there is this plus 3. Our goal is to get y by itself. So using our solving strategy, we're going to subtract 3. Now when we do that, on the left side, the 3's cancel and we just get y. But on the right side, we do not have like terms. The 4x and the 3 are not like terms. So they cannot be combined. Instead, we're just going to copy them both down separately. 4x minus 3. This right here is the goal. We want our final answer to be an equation that has a y and an x, but the y just happens to be by itself. The reason we want to do that is because now we can use our graphing skills to graph this line. So as a reminder, we're going to be identifying the key features. So the point is going to have both an x number and a y number in it. And the slope is always going to be the number right before the x, and it's usually going to be a fraction. In this case, if I asked you to identify the key features, you would tell me that point and the slope. Since there are no parentheses in this equation, our x number must be a 0, and our y number is the -3. The slope would just be the number right before the x, which is a 4, and I'm going to put that over 1. And then I'm going to graph. So my point is going to be at 0, -3, so right here. And then I'm going to rise 4, run 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, run 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, run 1. And there's my line. Now again, the new skill we're learning today is this part up here. It's getting the y by itself. But the reason we're learning that skill is that once we have y by itself, we can then graph that line using the strategies that we learned in our previous unit. What we're going to do first in these notes is we're going to do 2 problems where we're just going to practice the new skill, the getting y by itself skill. So in this case, let's practice isolating y. We're going to draw a line through our equal sign, and we're going to look for the y. The y is the number we want to get by, or the letter we want to get by itself. In this case, there's a 3 by the y. So in order to get y by itself, I have to divide by 3. But there's a special rule about division. We have to divide every single term in this equation by 3. So first, we're going to simplify the left side and we just get y. On the right side, 2 divided by 3 is not a friendly number. If you type it in, you get a decimal. So because we don't want decimals, we're just going to write it as 2 over 3 x. And then negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. So when you are multiplying or dividing, in this case it's dividing. When dividing, you have to divide everybody. Now that only applies to dividing. So let me show you an example right next door where we're going to use adding and subtracting. In this case, if you look at the y, the term that is by the y is the minus 2x. To undo a minus 2x, you're just going to plus 2x. Now, we don't need to plus 2x to everybody. That rule only applies to dividing. You have to divide everybody. So, the 2x's cancel, and we just get y. But on the other side, these are not like terms. So, they cannot be combined. Instead, we're just going to copy them both down. So it's going to be negative 1 plus 2x. Again, once your y is by itself, that's how you know you're done. Now, in the next few examples, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to get y by itself, but we're also going to follow up by making the graph, because the whole point of getting y by itself is so that we can make the graph. For problem number 3, I'm going to draw a vertical line through my equal sign. Now I'm noticing that I have both x's and y's in this problem, and the directions say to isolate y. So I want to get the y by itself here. I'm going to start with whatever's farthest away from y, so I'm going to start by working on this plus 2x right here. The opposite of plus is minus, so I'm going to minus the 2x on both sides. When I do that, on the left-hand side, I just have negative 9y. And on the right-hand side, the negative x and the negative 2x are like terms. Now, this is an invisible negative 1. So combining those, I get negative 3x. And then I can copy down the 18. Then I need to get rid of this negative 9. Now, since it's kind of smushed right next to the y, I'm going to divide by negative 9. But the special rule for dividing is that you have to divide everybody. So the negative 9 cancels on the left, and we get y. On the right, we're going to do 18 divided by negative 9, which is just negative 2. And then we're going to do negative 3 divided by negative 9, which is not a friendly number. But if you type that in, negative 3 divided by negative 9, the fraction is actually plus 1/3 x. So using your alpha y equals, make a fraction, type in negative 3 over negative 9, and you should get positive 1/3. My key features here would be my point and my slope. Now my point here is going to be 0 because there's no parentheses, comma, negative 2. And my slope is going to be that positive 1/3. So I'm going to go to the 0, negative 2, and then I'm going to go rise 1, run 3. Rise, run. If I need to, I can reverse and go down 1 and then go left 3. Last but not least, so I'm going to draw a vertical line through my equal sign. And now I need to get my y by itself. So I'm going to start with what's farthest away from the y, which is the 6x. I'm going to plus 6x on both sides because adding is the opposite of subtracting. and I get 2y equals, now these guys are not like terms, so they cannot be combined. Instead, I'm just going to copy them both down. 10 plus 6x. Then I need to get rid of this 2, so I'm going to divide by the 2 on both sides. But the rule for dividing is we need to divide everybody. So my 2's cancel, and I get y. 10 divided by 2 is a nice number. It's 5. And 6 divided by 2 is also a friendly number. It's just 3x. Now my key features here would be my point and my slope. My point here would be 0, comma, and my y value would be 5. It's a 0 because there's no parentheses. My slope would be the number right before x, which is 3 over 1. Then I'm going to go to 0, 5, and I'm going to try to go up 3, right 1. But since there's no room, the reverse would be to go down 3 and then go left 1. And that is the end of our notes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon for some practice.